Here we are. Second hours with Love, Guns, and Freedom. We are here with Lucas Zanna, and we are with Mike and Michael. And today, at the second hour, Love, Guns, and Freedom, we will talk about guns, of course. And interesting show today. We'll talk a little bit about, first of all, the working man combination to have a gun and some sort of a long weapon, also I would call it this way, carbine, for an affordable price. Something that everybody could afford, and you don't need to wait the end of the year to make this purchase that you really may need it tomorrow, maybe today, to save your life or to save your freedom. So, Mike, are you there? Mike and Michael?
I'm here.
Good. Are you there, Michael?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so we had, as I said, the gun is just an extension of your body. More important, your main weapon is going to be yourself and your brain. But at the same time, if you need a gun, you need the gun right now. Sometimes you don't want to wait so long. If I had to choose one gun, one handgun, and one handgun only, as a compromise, as accuracy, compact type of, performance, and also a price, okay? Glock would be my first choice. But, I know I don't want to start to create now this big debate, Glock, 1911, or the type of gun. I'm talking about as a compromise for $500. A gun is going to last you the rest of your life, and it's going to be pretty much also almost maintains it free. I mean, you don't need to do anything, really. Now, let's say you don't have $500, or maybe you have $500, and you want to somehow buy more than just one gun. You also would like to have like a carabine or some sort of a weapon that you can use with the stock, and you can be accurate from, let's say, 25 all the way to 100 yards. Normally, we use the gun from 0 to 20, 25 yards, and normally most of the gunfights, they are really just, let's say, colloquial conversation, Mike, that's where the handgun. And I would say normally the handgun is the tool that's going to fight the way to your rifle, okay? But let's say we have $500 gun. Mike, do you have any gun right now that you want to buy? I mean, any idea? What would you like
Well, I'm a novice with guns, but from what you told me, the Hipoint might be the best choice for me.
Yeah. You ever heard about that, Michael, about the Hipoint?
Yeah, I've heard about the Hipoint. I've looked them up online. I was looking for a secondary handgun at an affordable price, and I saw that the Hipoints were around 130 to 150, and I've heard really good things about them. So
yeah, I mean, as I said, I found out this combination that first of all, yeah, Hipoint, I think is a good brand. It's an American brand, and what I like, they have lifetime warranty. And that's great. I mean, really, if you have any problem, they fix it for you for free. That's right there. It's great. And on top, you give some job to American workers. I think it's great. Right. More important, since it's your handgun, I saw and I shot it. I mean, I have a 9mm Hipoint and I have a 45 Hipoints. It's very reliable. The 45 is the one I would like to focus right now, for the reason why, because there is an interesting combination. You can get the 45 magazine for the handgun. It also fits the 45 carabine Hipoint. And let's talk a little bit about, first of all, budget here, okay? We know that a decent gun normally is at least $400 or more, okay? When we get, like, for example, a Glock, we said, if you want to stick with a Glock, standard Glock, let's say 17 or 22, for the third generation, okay? I'm not even talking about the fourth generation. It's at least $500 plus taxes. That's the reality. Now, listeners, I would like to give you the opportunity to listen, to find out that you can get for less than $500, or at least, let's say, for $500, ready to go right now, a beautiful and reliable US-made handgun plus a carabine that you can use and swap the same magazine. Because, under stress, let's say you need to do, you carry, first of all, it's good to keep things simple, okay? It would be great to have a handgun, that you have also a rifle, that you keep the same type of cartridge. I mean, that would be a great thing. Yeah. For example, what is your rifle that you carry normally, or what type of rifle you have, Michael?
When I was in the military, I shot the M16. That was probably the first combat style rifle that I've shot. I'm looking for something probably about an AK-47 or an SKS right now I'm in the market for.
Okay. And that's great. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's good to have, of course, variety of things. But think about the benefits to have a handgun, that you could also have the same cartridge, so you can also stock up. Of course, we're talking about some machine type of cartridge. It's not like a rifle cartridge. When I say 45 ACP for this Hipoint gun, and you're going to use it also for your carbine point, it is not a rifle, okay? It has some limitations. But think about it. You have a combination, like some sort of, like almost like easy to go, easy to carry, that from 0 to 100 yards, or even more, I mean, you may not be accurate, but you can keep heads down. That's pretty good. And you can keep it simple. You can stock on that type of caliber, get some extra magazine for the 45. So let's talk about a little bit, first of all, the 45 Hipoint handgun. You can get it for about, when I bought mine, I remember I paid like $130. That was a couple years ago, if not more. Now maybe you can get it for $150. What do you think, Mike? I mean,
well, okay, I got a question. This might be a stupid question, but
no question is stupid. Well, I don't know it. Go ahead.
Okay, the Hipoint, you said it 150 now, right?
Probably something like that. Depend on the shop. Maybe 160, 150.
And the Glock, you said $400 to $500.
A Glock, let's say Glock 17 standard or Glock 22 standard, at least $500 or more. Okay.
What makes the difference in the price in the two guns?
First of all, we're talking about two different type of guns itself. I mean, a Glock is a Glock. There is also marketing behind, and there is also different type of material probably, and different type also of a system how it operates. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you pay for what you get most of the time. But let me tell you something. For $150, if I had to get this gun, I'd rather to have this one, they have nothing, or to have some brands that I know. This is reliable. I tell you the benefits of the Hipoint 45 handgun. First of all, of course, the price. $150, if you think about it, 1 month that you save your money for some useless Starbucks or expensive coffee out there, $3 a pop every time you go out, here we go. You got your gun. It's not like something that, oh my God, I need to sell something. You can get it, just save. So right there, it's a great service to humanity to have a gun affordable for the working man. Then, it's reliable. I tell you, I shot this after you, honestly, I didn't even need to break it in. I mean, it was ready to go. Standard Wolf steel case, 45 ACP ammunition, not a problem. Just a little bit of lubrication was perfect. Then, what I think I like it, this is like, try to feel the weight. Try to do that. It's a weapon. It's like almost a club. Okay. I mean, there is steel there. Okay. The slide is a big piece of steel. It's kind of heavy. Don't get me wrong, but it's a solid object. Then, it's I like the fact that you have lifetime warranty. I saw some torture text on this one on the internet. They intentionally put dirt and rocks and things that I say, how can you do that to a gun? They do it, and if it breaks, they send it to the factory and they change it or fix it. Lifetime.
That's pretty good.
Right there. Yeah. And then the price we set, $150, you don't need to wait.
Yeah, that price for a handgun, especially when you get into the 9 mils and the 45 ACPs, that's really unheard of.
I mean,
that's an excellent price.
So Hipoint 45, great gun itself. So let's say, even if, forget about the carbine, if you had to get one gun only, and you don't want to wait the end of the year because your life is in jeopardy, you really believe you need your gun now, I say, get your gun right now. Hipoint 45. Then, another thing I would suggest you, we were talking about the carbine, Hipoint. That what I like about, let me get it 1 sec. First of all, it's an Hipoint, as I say, lifetime warranty. They're very accurate. They're reliable. And remember, this is not going to be any type of things that you compare to a rifle. It's called a carbine. Let's say you have, remember, the gun has some limitation, but also has some benefits. The handgun is something you can always carry with you. But at the same time, you don't have the accuracy you can have with a stock that you would have with a rifle or with a carbine. That's why this is good, because if, let's say you have to defend your turf, your little castle, this way you can guarantee shots at 100 yards. With a handgun, I wouldn't do that. Or I try. People can also shoot. For example, we had a guest last week. You remember Cop Reynolds?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can shoot handgun at 300 yards and put them in a group of 20, 25 inches, but it needs training, and it's still you need sometimes even a little bit of luck. It must be no wind. But the carabine is perfect for this type of purpose. So you have a simple concept of carry magazine. They carry the same ammunition. And like we say, let's talk about price. With $330, let's say $350, okay? And $150 for the handgun, $350 for the carabine, for $500, you have an incredible combo kit. Hipoint 45 carabine and Hipoint 45 handgun. I think there is no excuse for a working man to create your own little tools to defend your family and your safety, and also your freedom if you are to. This is from close combat, okay? Close distances. Then, if I had to talk about the next step for the working man, and we were talking about, just briefly, like a few months ago, a couple of months ago, Michael, a rifle.
Right.
Talking about the battlefield rifle, okay? A rifle that is cartridge, you got chamber with a center fire round, not a like a submachine or like a handgun round. This is considered like 45, like a submachine gun or still center fire, but it's a handgun cartridge. Talking about a real cartridge for military battlefield rifle, if I had to pick one rifle for the budget of the working man, for the same price, I would probably spend for an expensive date out there, talking about less than $130.
Right.
Mosin Nagant, the standard rifle, I'm not even talking about the carabine. The standard rifle, you still can get them, for example, Center Fire Systems. It's a website. You can go centerfiresystems.com for like $130.
Wow.
And they are great condition. If you're in Arizona, I suggest you to go to J&G Sales. You ever heard about that?
I've heard of them, yeah.
You ever been down to Prescott, Michael? Or Mike?
No, I've never been there, no.
You should go there. I mean, I used to go there a few years ago. It was like my vacation time. It's like 2 hours, 3 hours from here. We used to go with a friend of mine here. He has a big truck. This guy does styles. So it's a big, heavy trucks.
Right.
We used to come back with so much freaking ammunition that the truck was flying like that. We were like almost going up.
That's awesome.
That was before 2006, before the election. Remember, last lot we did, we spent probably, $2,000 each in ammunition when the price was cheap, okay?
Wow.
But the place is great. They got great assortment of ammunition. More important, they are specialized in AK-47, Russian rifles, and the best prices, in my opinion, on Mosin Nagant. You can go there, check the barrel of each one, go through the bore. Each one you can see them, inspect them.
Nice.
And they're real historical pieces. These pieces of hardware, they went through wars. And they're really battlefield rifles. Some they're not being used very much, but they're real thing. And for $130, what do you get? What I like about the Mosin Nagant, of course, you got limitations. Don't get me wrong. If I had $1,000, I would spend it for buy maybe an M1 Garand, or if I had $1,500, I would spend M14. But
what's the round capacity on those?
Okay, you got 5 rounds from the top, clips, metal clips.
Right.
7.62 by 54 Russian.
Right.
And the good thing about this ammunition, that they are, first of all, pretty much comparable to the 308 or 7.62 by 51. So it's a real powerful ammunition. But there is also more benefit. They are much cheaper. You can get 7.62 by 54 Russian still in this market right now for half the price of a 308. They're surplus, they're corrosive. All you gotta do is clean the freaking barrel, and the bore after you finish.
Right.
No big deal. And there is another benefit. Most of the 7.62 by 54 Russian, they are steel core. Something that now in the 308, unless you're into the military, on the police, you cannot have unless you make your own with getting bullet from 3006, because they are pretty much impossible to buy. They're illegal to buy 308 in steel core for civilians. Right. So it's a very good benefit. And the point is, let's sum it up. $150, you got Hipoint 45. This is you're gonna be defending your person. There you have for $350, carabine Hipoint using the same magazine 45 ACP. Just keep it simple, stock up in one caliber, and this is gonna defend your castle. Okay. Then to defend your liberty, I always believed, gun is for you, handgun is for your person, shotgun, in this case, of course, we call it a carbine, it's not a shotgun, it's for your custom. To defend your liberty, you need a rifle. That's why most of the governments, they may allow you to have a shotgun, but they don't want you to have rifles. Even now with the technology advantage that they have, they can pretty much have drones and everything, but a skilled rifleman, he can pretty much control the quarter-mile rifleman, 500 yards, 4 minutes of angle. That means at 500 yards, you can keep your group within 20 square inches. And that's what defends freedom. If you have the population educated, law-abiding citizen, they understand their rights, and also have the basic skill to defend these rights. If every one of us will have one rifle, even just one Mosin gun, and able to shoot targets and hit targets 500 yards, no foreign army or no local tyranny would ever be able to conquer us.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah, there's a reason why they don't mind you having a 3-shot to 1-shot, shotgun versus having a rifle that you can shoot 30 rounds out of. There's definitely a reason why they don't want you to have it.
You remember Biden? He was so happy to give us the advice, piece of trash about, you need to have a shotgun. Right. And because master knows that slave with shotgun can be managed. Yeah. Slave with rifle, it's hard to be managed, okay?
That's right.
So what do you think, Mike? Maybe you want to try to take a look and shoot this one?
Sure. For people like me, you were talking about standard rifles and carbines.
Yes.
Maybe there's some people out there. I mean, what is the basic difference?
Okay, carbine, first of all, like we were talking right now, normally, first of all, we're talking about, let's say, the barrel, okay? AR-15. When you talk about AR-15 at a 16 inches barrel, let's consider a carbine, okay? You're shooting technically a center fire round, it's a rifle round. But in my humble opinion, 5.56 is not what you call a battlefield rifle. Because the cartridge is still, after all, the diameter of the bullet is 22, okay? Right. It's still pretty much personnel. It's just on flash. Right. I would start to look at a battlefield rifle when you go everything with 7.62 and up, okay? 308, 7.62 caliber. So we were talking about 7.62 by 39 also, or 7.62 by 54 Russian, like for the machine gun, or 7.62, by 51 for the 308, okay? So that's pretty much what I would consider a battlefield rifle. Right. This one is not a battlefield rifle, but this one gives you the advantage to close the gap between the handgun and the rifle. And more important, you don't need to wait to have an extra paycheck or maybe a few paychecks from now to wait to get your rifle. Yeah. Because let's not forget, in the skillful hand, of course, you have some limitation. You're not going to compete to shooting somebody at 500 yards with this one when he has M1 Garand or any type of real battlefield rifle. You're going to be outmatched with this, okay? Yeah. Maybe you can get 200 yards this one if you're lucky, but there is a drop in and you lose power. It's a 45 after all.
I think in the modern battlefield, as far as like city warfare, that would be would sort of be like a rifle.
You're right. I mean,
you're going to have close quarters everywhere.
Let's not forget the Israeli during the many type of different 6 days war they had, or different type of. They used to go during the 6 days war. They used to go with the Uzi.
Right.
They were pretty much chambered 9 millimeters. Right. Okay. Right. And they were even probably barrel shorter than this. Oh yeah. So this is a great combination. And the good thing about this, if you take your time and you know how to train a little bit, you can get very accurate. It's semi-auto. You don't waste ammo. I think it's a great thing to look into that. That's my humble opinion. I'm not even getting paid by. Maybe we should contact this freaking.
Yeah, they're getting lots of advertisement from you.
Yeah, and I really mean it. The idea is to share information, people that they can use, and try to save you money and time. Because at the end of the day, I would like to have every law-abiding citizen armed and trained and knowledge about what's going on.
And people are in general are just afraid of guns now, and so it's good to have a show where you can just talk about guns, and educate people.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, law-abiding citizen with guns, I believe at this point, every time, but especially now in this point of history, is that we have each other. That's all we have. Again, crime is going to be up. Unfortunately, we have more than just crime to worry about. We have, I mean, let's not forget, we have freaking Chinese troops right now sitting in Hawaii, and 2 weeks ago they had joint exercise, military exercise, naval exercise with our Navy. We have Russian troops in Colorado with an official agreement with FEMA ready to be deployed for any type of national disaster. We know what's going on with FEMA. We know what's going on with Homeland Security. Unfortunately, this is no more the America of the 50s that we dreamt or we grew up, some of us. This is a very interesting historical time. People can deny it, can deny the evidence. That's fine. It's their right. But I'll tell you something. You can deny the evidence, but you cannot deny the consequences of reality. One day it's going to come and get you anyway. Yeah. And right now, I mean, let's talk about crime going up. I mean, we have more than 50,000 illegal aliens, teenagers. They call them kids, but they are not. These people, they're mostly also 16, 17, already grown-up men, ready to, especially in their culture, to have a family, okay? Right. And I'm not even going right now into the aspect of illegal immigration or not. We already discussed that last week. I'm talking about just for natural number games of society, civil, pretty much unrest and crimes. Because what if I have 50,000 a month or more of people that I don't know exactly anything about their background? All I know that they come here, and it's documented they get dumped by Homeland Security in our cities with a piece of paper that they have to say, come back in 2 months in front of a judge to get your court hearing. Meanwhile,
they're not coming back.
Yeah, let's say if they come back, maybe because they want to get their free lawyer that we're going to pay. Obama's going to give us they're going to give them free lawyer to get asylum or whatever. Still, they're going to be hungry, they're going to be desperate, and the good people, they may just maybe steal, and I'm not even trying to justify that. I'm talking about people that they're already right there in gangs.
Oh, yeah.
And they already come here. They're great. This is like going to Disneyland.
Well, there's already reports that a lot of them are gang members. They have the gang tattoos, the MS-13.
And you have 50,000 a pack, even just if 5% out of that.
Oh, yeah.
How much would be? For like 5% out of, let's say 10% would be 5,000. 2,000 people, even just 1,000 people that you unleash in an area like Phoenix. Right. A hardcore criminal coming from very tough environments, and they can come here, and you are pretty much like their breakfast.
Oh yeah, and those gangs down there in South America, like the MS-13, they are hardened killers.
Yeah. So are you going to wait what next Christmas to get your gun? I mean, especially if you live in big town. I think everybody now, even in Mojave County, crime is going to be pretty much spreading around. So we need to have, first of all, the tools. Then with the tools, we must have more important the moral code to know how to use it and when to use it, and training and the will. But first you gotta get your hardware. I don't care which gun. As I said, the gun is just an extension, is a tool. You are the weapon. Your brain and your heart is the weapon. And when I say brain and heart means, first of all, brain means your knowledge. Heart is your will to sacrifice yourself and also to use it. I can give you right now, Michael, $5,000 rifle. Like, for example, happened in Katrina. Doesn't mean that the people are going to use that rifle. You think, okay, give it to you. Right. It's I right to have $100 a gun with training and determination, and I can be much more effective. So, guys, we're ready for the second hour. We're going to talk more about guns and some other ideas. For example, what is probably better, AK-47 or AK-74? What is the difference? That would be the next step. After I graduate from my basic handgun and carbine, I need to have a rifle, or at least something like a battlefield rifle that can cover me from 100 yards and more. Okay? So stay tuned. Don't go away. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca, Zanna, Michael, and Mike. Ciao.